world, so that we might be able to piece her back together and elsewhere.
Crap.
What happened?
I wasn't looking at the screens for a moment, so I don't know what happened, but OBS disconnected for a moment. Hopefully it caught everything. But it just
everyone's back in the game anyways.
Yeah, it dipped for maybe like 10 seconds.
Okay.
If that.
Okay. But yes. These were designed to help us piece back together our sister god. Say again.
At the state that they are, how long do you think they would have lasted?
A few more years, maybe.
You see him brush his hand along the side, and you actually see the material that the javelin is made out of. The javelin previously was about 3 inches or so in diameter, like at its thickest point. But as he brushes his hand over it, you see it almost revert in state to be about 5 inches thick.
Oh. So it was almost half its size.
Yeah. It had deteriorated to the point where it was almost snapping at points.
Makes sense on why Lee could pull it out. I mean, he's the strongest of us here.
Yes. In a way, I have to thank you.
Fuck up helped, I guess.
Yes.
Free from groundings?
I don't know. I don't think that's gonna get me free from groundings. I think it's just gonna be.
I'll make sure you're free from groundings, Keta.
Well, there's new ones, I guess. I'm already grounded for making everybody worry about me.
I can't stop you from being grounded for something you deserve, though.
He just gives you a smile.
Puffs out her cheeks.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair.
I'll return in a moment.
And he heads inside the cave, carrying with him the newly restored iron spike.
Just nervous glances to the rest of the party.
I imagine he's going to restore the other ones while he's in there.
I mean, yeah, I'd hope so.
Everything he does, or is it just very measured and very kind of slow?
Yup.
It seems like he is incredibly careful with everything he does.
He is definitely restraining himself back, though.
Yup.
He's a god, and he knows how to control his power.
It feels a bit more than that. He's purposefully preventing him from showing himself as one, I guess you could say.
Think of his brother, Aquila. Aquila's a massive, egotistical asshole who wants himself to be seen as a god. Granddad doesn't, like you said, that he doesn't, well, you weren't awake for that, but he doesn't like his titles. He just likes to be known as Grandam.
He's humble.
Yeah. You see, people like Aquila a lot in the military. People who always want the glory and the honor. You don't really see a whole lot of people like Random.
Yeah. You specifically remember from your military days, the gods were present when you were in the military because the actual war against the forces of Magisteria had suddenly hit a unfortunate upturn for there to actually need to be a proper war.
Mm-hmm.
Aquila was the god who literally made himself 15 foot tall, standing over a battlefield, shouting commands directly to his warriors as he was fighting. Yeah, as he was fighting alongside them. Whereas Grainum was the god that was in the back tent helping actually plan and make sure that you had a chance of winning that war.
And probably also healing a lot of the injured.
Yeah.
That's why I fairly thought Graydon was going to be taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your experience with godlike entities has set a precedent, and Grainum does not fit it.
I mean, back when we were actually fighting the war on a grand scale and not just small skirmishes. I mean, if you wanted to see a big god, Aquila would be that one. Grainum, he don't like taking the glory. He's perfectly fine letting Aquila take it. Or Ignacio, even.
Mom has always told me stories about the fact that he's always been. You would never really know if he didn't introduce himself as a god. He'd walk up, you kind of just walk among the people. I think that's how he actually fell in love with my grandmother? Yes, grandmother. That's the term.
Probably why he has so many kids.
He's not a man whore.
No.
Yeah. He's not as promiscuous as some of the other gods.
I'm not saying that. It's more just... Yeah, he's a god, but...
It's
until
cool.
he tells you, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah. Not looking forward to going back to the Emerald Plateau.
Well,
I mean,
we're
we
talking
have to.
about continuing on our adventure over west.
I mean... I'd almost wonder if we'd have the time to detour off to the north for a bit.
Oh yeah, there was that big star over there.
Yeah, that fell within a day's travel of where you guys currently are.
Oh, okay.
There's just some things I
You can actually still currently see the smoke plume from it.
Wait, star?
Yeah,
You slipped
were
right through it, you
asleep.
lucky bastard.
Essentially, something fell from the sky. I don't specifically know what it is. It's usually just referred to as a star. It's got some valuable metal in it, probably. If we find the right person for it, we can sell it for a high price, or maybe we can find somebody to do something with it.
I do need to get my other instrument from the house at least. There's just making sure I have everything properly set up for travel. I hate to have something happen to my guitar, but I don't want to make myself known. I think something smaller might be easier to hide when we go into Failhaven.
Well, we got about 6 to 7 weeks.
About 6.5 weeks.
Don't think going off into the desert is going to do us any good at this time. We're going to be diverting a lot of time
We have
backtracking.
a fast way to get there, though.
I mean... Yeah.
We had already decided on it.
So I still think at the very least we should probably go back to the Emerald Plateau just for that. It's the less attention we can call to ourselves and Failhaven, the better, even though, well, just kind of gestures to the whole. They're all supposed to be humans there. We kind of stick out like sore thumbs to a huge adventure.
Yeah, I mean,
And all you have to do is wear a hat, you're fine.
yeah,
And
we
also
kind of.
not explode into smoke.
I do at least have my poor people clothes.
I mean, the more important part is that you're not a tiefling.
And we kind of have 3 of those.
Yeah.
I think the two that'd be most difficult to... Well, Failsy, you can do that thing with that mask. You could just find a random human lady you like the look of and make yourself look like her.
What are we going to do about an orc?
Lots of paint.
A big cloak?
Yeah, could do that.
Buy some disguise kits.
I could paint myself, or I could rub some berries on myself. I could dye myself pink.
But
You know what, Lee? By all means, go for it, buddy.
Ket is gonna motion for him to like lean down. So, do you remember last night when you made yourself look like an orc again?
No.
Block that out of your mind.
What?
What? This sounds a bit accurate for Lee.
Do you not
but
remember last night when we rescued you from the rubble pile?
Yeah. And I was a fish, and then I was me.
I don't think that's a good idea, Keta.
No, not having him like have a tail.
No,
I don't even know how I had a tail.
Elway said that he's in his form because of what happened to him in his past. I don't.
know technically how old he is. He could have eaten. He could have kind of mouse eaten another person.
Oh,
You were very specifically told that they do not take a new
Yeah.
form until their current form would have died of natural causes.
I don't.
Yeah, that's
don't
what Da Vinci is
think
trying to
it works.
say. Is that Lee can't transform into a human.
From what I always said, I don't think Lee can become a human until Lee would not be Lee anymore.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Don't worry about it, Lee. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about either.
Could make him
Okay.
look like a Goliath.
I
If you let him-
could. Oh, Goliaths are like grey, right?
Yeah, that would probably work.
He
No, you
he
should-
starts fishing through a bag he has on his side.
No.
The tusks are a problem.
No.
They grow
He
back
literally
so
just
fucking
reaches
quick
up,
now.
grabs them, and pulls them out.
You already did it.
No. We don't know how well Goliaths are accepted over there, though.
Unfortunately, probably better than an orc.
Probably.
And
It's been my
Also-
experience. Humans who are xenophobic tend to be alright with Goliaths for some reason.
I mean, all Goliaths are just like big people, so
Bald, gray-skinned human.
How badly do they hate anything but human?
It's not necessarily a hatred. Like the common folk you know in Fellhaven, because you were a tiefling and you had to go into Fellhaven, and at the time you were disguised for the most part, but you can only disguise purple skin so much.
yeah.
The common folk didn't terribly mind you, they would just actively avoid you or not speak to you. It was guards you had to worry about, who
Was it
were
more-
actively xenophobic. And it really just depended on which guard it was.
The common folk will probably run from Brimstone and generally avoid the rest of us. The guards will try and arrest everyone.
You have to keep you on a leash to make sure you don't go stealing something or causing chaos.
I don't feel like Failsy was probably very keen on the idea of causing chaos in Fellhaven. At least not unless she knows she can get away with it.
They didn't cause unnecessary chaos.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
But they will generally round up anyone who doesn't have the right amount of skin pigmentation and negative
Genetics.
and non yeah,
Well,
we're
absolutely no
trying-
tails allowed.
we're trying to find answers for a problem we don't have to solve right now.
I don't know. I think it's good to at least have a plan set in motion. So then it's
Uh.
like, oh, you're not questioning going to get out there.
Lee walks back into the scene and looks like a human.
The fuck?
Oh,
Excuse me, what?
I mean, physically he hasn't changed at all, but his skin is human colored, sort of like a tan human.
Where he looked like he'd be a human sailor.
Yeah, like nothing else has changed other than his skin color.
How much makeup did you put on?
I rubbed so many berries on myself.
That's...
Oh wait, he doesn't have his tusk right now.
I rubbed so many berries on myself.
He still somewhat has the list because his mouth is in that shape, but still.
How?
That's impressive.
Yeah, honestly, I'm more surprised by the fact that he got the pigmentation right.
Well, you can get away with some disguise kits then.
And catch it even like kind of catch a look at his arm and see if there's like any tint of green.
No, you like look at his arm and like touch it. You recognize Keta. There isn't like a residue or anything on his arm. He has probably cast the spell Disguise Self on himself, but has no idea he did it.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's just his brain reasoning out how this worked.
That's funny.
That was the leads over. Like, think it's a spell?
It definitely is a spell.
I don't know how to do magic.
But you innately know how to do it, sweetheart.
No.
You'll probably need to reapply that in about an hour.
we don't need to
Yeah,
go
don't
over
rub
this again. No, what's taking Greenham so long?
It's a god. He's doing weird stuff. He probably has different.
It's actually about at that point that Granum does come back out.
Speaking, he shall appear. Not really.
No, not.
That's Lee.
Yeah. Why?
Just-
Why are you?
No.
Why? God.
No, not typically. I won't. Though I do sometime hear the call.
Well, the timing was perfect that time.
I like to keep my theatrics.
He just chuckles.
You all had questions for me. I'll do my best to answer.
I have one. I'm not sure if the question you'd like to answer, though.
There's no harm in asking.
So, I've studied up on a god by the name of Altea, and
Make an insight check.
yeah, I figured he would be very keen, trying to keep a close eye on his expressions. And I just wanted to know what happened with her.
You're not certain what the emotion is, but you do see a very slight downwards turn of the smile. Like just the corner of his lips droops slightly. The smile doesn't go away that he keeps on his face, but you definitely see that there's something about mentioning that name that does make it falter.
Oh, Tia. You must be a very well-learned one. Not many people know of her name anymore. She unfortunately fell in the Great War. Was torn apart by Magisteria's misguided forces. We don't know what happened to her afterwards.
Huh.
Going to insight that part, because Da Vinci's heard a very different story.
Alright. He doesn't seem to be lying.
Interesting. One of the tellings that I heard were a bit different. Maybe you could help clarify why this misunderstanding's in place?
Like someone whose phone rang.
Sorry, that was me. That was Mom.
Silence your phone, child.
It's fine. Just imagine if this was actually like a set recording and someone's phone just goes off and he just looks at them. Just looks at Keta.
Turn your phone off. We're filming.
It's his voice, alright?
I know, he just got so much old.
It's because he's making a joke. Anyways.
Many misconceptions of stories arise from mortals spreading them through word of mouth. Tell me what you know and I can help to fill in the blanks.
My understanding is that Altia came from an origin that's not quite well known, but she some clockwork and time. And during the was it Great Cataclysm, or
If you're talking about the war where Altia was thought to have been killed,
yes?
it was simply referred to the War of the Advent.
Sorry, it's been a long time since I heard it.
Some call it the Cataclysm, but it is also simply referred to as the War for the Advent.
And the one telling I heard is that during the War for the Advent, Aquila took your power and struck down Altia directly.
My power.
Yes.
I don't believe that's correct. Aquila is hot-headed and boorish, but he would not betray his own kind. Altia was the child of Ignesia and Terrestra, one of the few other born godkin.
And she had made a great number of creations.
Yes. The Warforged. Such beautiful creatures. When she first devised them, she came to me to ask my advice. They were such wonderful beings. They still are, but without her, it always feels as if they are missing some life.
He sort of has that look that older men do whenever they get lost in an old thought.
I've heard rumor, though, that she might not be completely dead yet. There might still be a way to bring her back.
That, I have to imagine, is just a rumor, my child. She died and was removed from this realm.